stops. Okay, so no decisions were made in executive session. Meeting is back in order now. And I might say that this is a difficult decision, very difficult. We are very fortunate, I would say, to have two very qualified applicants. So it just made it a difficult decision. So I guess I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve Lisa Nelson as interim superintendent effective when contract negotiations are completed.
Yes. And second?
I'll second it.
Okay, Gilbert has seconded the motion. I guess we don't really need any further discussion. It'll be a roll call vote. We'll go Art.
No.
Ed.
Yes.
Hollis.
Yes.
Gilbert.
I vote yes too.
And I vote yes. Motion carries. Okay.
I'm gonna start off my battery's not there.
Okay. All right, Gilbert. Thank you. Okay. All right, and like I said, this is not an easy decision, but it was one that had to be made so that we could start moving forward. At this time, we will get a contract drawn up, and it will be negotiated with Lisa, more than likely through the attorney, I would say. Okay. Glasses. I gotta be able to see now. All right. Business office report.
All right, well, it's been a long time since I haven't used a screen.
I don't see. You can stand up there.
So I have it up here on my phone.
Yeah, I got it here also.
Yeah. So, no, this works. So end of the month of May, $480,000. Enrollment is flat, about 261. CBA, that enrollment, it's not updated on this spreadsheet, but we're down to 265 FTE, just because more students are graduating and finishing up the year, and we're adjusting that accordingly. Like I said earlier, we are facing unprecedented times with the budget. There really is no indication that they're going to finish in the next 18 days. If that does happen, there will be some issues to deal with. So we're prepared for that. I got off the phone last week with Sunset Air. As you know, you can probably see all the dirt they're moving out there. The pipe is in the ground, and on Monday they're going to start cutting asphalt to connect that project to the main building. We received our first bill in the amount of about $200,000, and we're having to work with Sunset because OSPI has changed their reimbursement procedures. Initially, they said that we could claim reimbursement before we actually paid the bill, so that we would have the cash flow to do that. And now they contacted us last week and a half ago and said, sorry, you can't do that. And so I called Sunset Air and told them the situation, and what we're going to do is they're going to work with us to make that work. They said we're not going to, make it difficult. So there is going to be a way to make that work, and I'm confident that'll happen. However, we got an email from OSPI that said if the legislature does not finish on time, we may not be able to claim any grant reimbursements. Okay, so there's another thing that we're facing. And so we really could be facing some, yeah, so.
No information.
optimistic that things are going to turn out. And, you know, the press always likes to doom and gloom you. But, you know, who knows what's going to happen there. But those issues are on the table, so I'm communicating those to you. I think that's it.
Because the legislature isn't going to finish on time, how's that going to impact your budget?
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Statute says that my budget has to be done by July 10th. There's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Unless they finish in the next week,
Which they,
you know, because I can't even start to do the budget process until OSPI releases the budget tool. It's all done online. And so we can't even, it's called the F203. It's a budget tool that basically allows us to predict revenues. We can't even predict revenues because the state, we have no idea what the funding formula is going to look like. Mm-hmm. And so there's going to be, whenever they do finish, it is going to be a lot of work to get that done in a timely manner, because in second-class school districts, which Naselle is, it's first class at a certain size and second class. We have to be done, have a budget, you have to approve a budget in July. And so, unless the legislature changes that statute, then there's going to be a lot of work to do. Non-business related, we did complete our accreditation process about 2 weeks ago. It's a process that happens every 8 years. And we did receive the highest level of accreditation, which was 5 years. And so, in another 5 years, we'll be looking at that again. So, that's all I have.
All right, thank you. Reports from principals?
I'll go first. Some more bad news, but I promise to follow up with some good news. So our enrollment for June was 78. That's actually the lowest enrollment we've had this year, and the enrollment date is the first of the month. It's gone up to 80 since then, but we did hit a low for us. The good news is it still puts us 10 over average for the year, and in our system that equates to about $100,000, so that's a good thing. We will have another graduation on Friday. That will be our 7th one so far since the beginning of the school year. On Monday, we start our 40-day summer school program. Whether or not funding is going to be there, we're going to show up to work because RCW requires we have a 220-day school program. So we'll be there. Recently, we trained 31 students, like I kind of said, as part of the interview in wildland firefighting, and that was done with Perkins vocational funding. They're looking to run another round of funding in July. The kids went out to their first fire 2 nights ago. There was a lightning strike down at Beard Hollow in a tree, so they were excited about that. They didn't get back till midnight, so they were all giddy the next day. That was pretty cool. Spring testing results have come back. I'm very pleased to say that this year we broke our old record. 16 students took the state writing exam and 13 passed, 81% passing rate, which is our best showing to date. Writing was even better, and I'm extremely proud of this. 13 students took the test, 12 passed, and the one student did not pass, has an IEP in that area, and just the skills weren't quite up to snuff. One student away from 100% passing, so we're super thrilled about that. I wish you could see his picture because I'll show it carefully. I know you really can't see it probably at all, but I might pass this around to the audience just for grins. I told you last month we started doing senior portraits, so when the kids graduate, they get a series of pictures, and we make them dress up in ties and stuff. And recently, I don't know if you're aware, but Lyle Hadia does a Scandinavian radio show on KMUN, and this young man got to go over there, sit in the radio station, and give the weather. And so he's really fascinated by the weather, so it's a great opportunity for him to get out and see the station and play with the control panels. And he did a senior project today, and he talked about his experience in going over there and getting to do that. And he was just beaming, and if you could have seen it, it was a pretty incredible thing, because when he came to us, he literally curled up in a fetal ball in the lodge, and he would not come to school. we had to, first of all, unfry him off the floor. And he started, he'd go to 1 period a day, that's for a week. Then 2 periods a day, and he had to have a lodge supervisor with him. Then it became 3 periods a day. And then it was kind of like, look, you can do this, give him a full schedule, and we'll deal with the consequences. And it worked, and you know, now he's graduating, so it's pretty incredible to see the work and the hurdles that he's overcome, and he reflected upon that today with the senior project and pretty much a classroom full of adults, and he was just the proudest he could be. And it was really awesome if you were in there. I don't see any staff who happened to be in there today, but it was very cool. So I don't have his name on this, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this around just for grins, and I just need to make sure I finish saying what I was going to say, because those are my notes, so that was it.
All right, and like Ray said, we did receive our preliminary score spring assessment, and we have 23 out of 25 meetings and 22 out of the 25 so we have scores again, which we're pretty excited about. And last Friday, I went to, well, it was the 31st, so it was Friday before, to the ESD and accepted an award on behalf of our students and staff and families, and that's what I told them. I've never had to, get up and give a speech, but I did tell them that I accepted the speech on behalf of the students and staff and the community because they are the ones that are instrumental in our success. And so we received the and a certificate, and then another, this is for junior and senior high school, comprehensive award, and then the banner for 2012, which is similar to, well, there's one, but now it's called the Washington State Achievement Award, and there's one like it above the grand piano, so we'll display this one out there as well. But, thank you to the staff and parents and community to support our kids, because it's not possible without you. And I always tell the staff and as I told you at the ESD, it takes a village to raise a child, and we all hold together to raise our children. So it is very important that we care about each and every one. And I just had a mom come back today and register 3 children for next year, and they've been here, they've moved away. Came back, moved away, and they came back again. And she said, we're here to stay because this seems to be the only place that cares about my children. So I said, you know what? I'm going to help us graduate. Like we did with my nephew and my older son. So I'm really excited to do that. So then Friday is our last day of school, and we are having a barbecue. If you'd like to come, we'd love to do that. And one other thing, we are having a manner immersion meeting for the parents of the first graders and any kindergarten parents that may not have made the meeting that we had previously. And we had one after a roundup and just going over, what we know now. And that is, we have a schedule developed. As we mentioned, we will be teaching the math and science and it will be in the afternoon, so the children will get their reading, writing, literacy in the morning, and then the other in the afternoon. We'd like to share the teachers with the rest of the population as well as cultural activities. So, anyways, we'll be meeting tomorrow at 6 o'clock.
That's what time's the meeting, Karen?
6.
It's 6 tomorrow night. What time's the barbecue?
Barbecue is at noon.
On Friday. Thank you.
So please come. That's it. And then we'll be going to training for the new TPAP. So I registered for July and August. So just a work in progress. And then as I indicated, we'll have to develop an implementation schedule, which we will be doing
Okay. Thank you. There won't be a superintendent's report. Board member reports, future agenda items. Okay, the only thing that I've could see in the near future would be possibly having a special board meeting to approve a contract, interim superintendent contract. And I was just fidgeting with my phone here, trying to figure out a date. And I apologize for messing with my phone while the meeting's going on. But, and I don't know if June 25th possibly would work. That's a Tuesday. Maybe we can set something up tentatively, and not even knowing if it's, I think it's probably doable to get that done in that length of time. So, and I'll be in touch with Marilyn to let her know for sure. So that would be the only thing that I would have. Anything else from the board? Okay. And again, I appreciate the community coming tonight, and with their input is greatly needed. I would hope that more of us would show up more. It's really hard for the board to get a feeling of what the true feelings are of the community unless we can get the community to come and speak to us. We would invite any and all of the community to come every board meeting if we could. We'll even move it out to the other commons if we have to. And I'll make coffee or something, right? So, because we truly cannot make decisions based on the community's desires unless we have input. So I would hope that we would keep coming to the meetings. Appreciate it a lot. So at this time, we would need a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.